Hey everybody, how you doing? Bruce here, traveling with Bruce. Welcome to my channel today. We got a video here about Key West. If you are following my channel, you know I did a video about Key West back in November, and we're going to give you an update here. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, Traveling with Bruce. Thumbs ups, comments, PayPal donations. You guys are absolutely unbelievable how you support this guy. I appreciate it very much. Look, the folks in Key West had a vote. On election day, they passed three different referendum that had been put together by a plebiscite to limit the number of cruise ships and the number of people coming in. They were fighting a number of groups that were secret, that were funding through the cruise industry, community leadership PACs, Florida Cruise PC, Protest This PC. They printed these brochures, put out all kinds of scare tactics to say if you vote away cruise ships, you vote away your safety. It didn't work. And today we've got news, an update. This guy right here, Mr. Jim Boyd, he is a senator, a Florida state senator, and he is proposing that they pass a law in the Florida State House that will basically not allow communities to ban cruise ships from their ports. He is proposing that only the state of Florida can do that. And so I suspect, I can't prove it, but what do you think the odds are that the cruise industry is helping him out draft that legislation to, in effect, do an end around and just say, look, we're not going to fight these plebiscites. Heck with that. Why don't we just get a senator to propose a law that makes it illegal for communities to ban cruise ships from their ports, and only the state of Florida can make this happen, and then we get rid of these guys. That, to me, is what I think is going on. This news broke this morning. The law has not been passed. It has to be debated in the chambers. It has to be passed by the state legislature. That has to be signed by the governor. But here's the the reality. The governor of Florida, Mr. DeSantis, he's he's a Republican, and he has got himself a state that has got all kinds of issues with regard to the virus, and he is very pro-cruise. Something tells me this would have no trouble flying through the hallways of the state capitol in Tallahassee and ultimately making its way into law. Will the folks in Key West be able to mount a legal challenge? Probably not. I don't know if they have enough money. You're up against multi-billion-dollar cruise lines that are able to raise $1 billion through Wall Street at the drop of a hat in the middle of a pandemic, and these folks are bound and determined to get their cruise ships wherever they want to get them. And they use the old adage that it's good for business and it's great for job creation, and we won't lay off policemen and firefighters and paramedics, and kids can go to school and everything will be great. Whereas the folks of Key West are going, hey, we don't want to have 15,000 people a day get off cruise ships, invade our little town, run us over, and then 6 hours later be gone. We're kind of happy on the more quieter side of things and a little more organized. These cruise ships are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And folks, get used to this kind of news coming out, because the bottom line is simple. When you have a cruise line like Royal Caribbean, for example, you're looking at a bunch of Royal Caribbean photos here. Royal Caribbean owes $19.2 billion to Wall Street investors. These are loans that they have outstanding. These are loans that must be repaid. Cruise ships must be able to sail to various locations and convince their customers to pay top dollar for their cabins and onboard drinks and everything else. And one of the cheapest ways for a cruise line to operate out of Florida is load up 4,000 passengers in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Port Canaveral, and work your way to Key West. It's not that far. You don't use a lot of fuel to move a ship from Miami to Key West. have it sit downtown for 8 hours, pre-sell a bunch of tours for, months before the cruise even happens, pre-sell out all kinds of land tours in that area. Cruise lines are getting anywhere from 30 to 60% commission for every dollar people spend for a tour. These cruise lines are figuring, well, if we can get 2,000 of the 4,000 people to take a tour of whatever they're going to see for $100 each, there's a nice bit of coin. And the land-based tour operators get the rest after they take out all their expenses. And then the cruise line can leave the port late in the afternoon, show them that wonderful sunset in Key West that people, drive all the way down there to see, and then conveniently get 10 miles offshore and turn on the slot machines. And let's rake in a whole bunch of dough from our specialty restaurants, our casino, and all the other services we offer. And tomorrow we'll figure out where to go next. Key West is a cheap, easy port to get to for these cruise lines, whether it's at the beginning of a cruise or towards the end of the cruise. It doesn't matter. They can be in Miami from Key West within a few hours. Leave in the afternoon. Next morning, you're in Miami, and off you go. So these cruise lines will stop at nothing to protect their turf. They will protect whatever they have to do, any way they have to do it. And the lobby army that these cruise lines have, 99.9% of cruisers have no idea how powerful the cruise line lobby is in Washington, in Tallahassee, Florida, and other state capitals. They have deep, deep pockets. They have lawyers everywhere, consultants everywhere to, at a drop of a hat, will pull out all kinds of stops to make their point and get what it is they want. And they want to be able to sail into Key West, drop off thousands of passengers, rake in gazillions of dollars a year. And if it happens to upset some environmentalists and locals, so be it, because these cruise lines don't run for political office. They don't answer to anyone except their shareholders and their bankers. And remember, Carnival owes practically $20 billion. I don't know the exact number. Norwegian is in the whole billions. These guys have borrowed billions upon billions of dollars to hang around long enough for this pandemic. And the bankers want to be paid. And they also don't care what the locals in Key West do or do not want. They want their money. And they're going to get it some way or another. And this is another example of how locals are trying to fight the gigantic cruise business to keep it in check, and they're not always successful. They might win a round or two, but then the ring gets changed. The venue of the fight changes. The next thing you know, the folks in Key West realize, oh my gosh, in Tallahassee, Florida, we have no power. No one up there listens to us. We might have a Florida congressman up there, but we have no representation. We don't have the money to fund half the legislature with money to get reelected. We're outspent up here in this arena. We're totally out to lunch. The cruise lines have got limitless power, unimaginable numbers of ways to fund politicians through backdoor deals that these folks in Key West don't have. And it would not surprise me at all that this law might actually pass, and it'll just get slipped through, and DeSantis will sign it, and he'll say it's good for business and it's good for jobs, and a bunch of the business leaders in Key West that want these cruise ships to keep coming will take out full-page ads and congratulate the legislature on what a great job they're doing protecting jobs here in Key West, whereas the folks who live there are just going to throw their hands up in the air going, what is the point? We signed these petitions, and then we had to get this thing filed, and then we finally got to vote on it. We had to battle all of these underground and behind-the-scenes organizations and these super PACs and political organizations that we don't know who these people are to protect our own community. And in the end, we got derailed anyway. It is unbelievable. Anyway, folks, there you go. That's my little rant of the day. Welcome to democracy. Sometimes it isn't pretty. It isn't pretty, as was witnessed yesterday at Capitol Hill. But in any event, let me know what your thoughts are about all this. Is this right? Is this wrong? Is this just the way it is? Do we have to care? Should we care? Should we not care? I don't know. Thank you, everybody, for being here, following my channel. I hope subscribing, commenting. Thank you for your support. We'll keep you posted on the latest cruise news as it comes along. In the meantime, take care, everybody. Bye for now.